You're watching Tanka TV. What up, y'all? I'm back with a fan request, of course. I was requested to review TLC's 3D album, which at the time was their final album, but it wasn't the final album. So for a while it was though. One of my favorite TLC albums. Okay, it was released towards the end of 2002, November 12th. It was recorded between 2001 and 2002. Of course, unfortunately, Left Eye passed during the recording of the album, so therefore the album had to be finished without her. But they did not do a bad job at all finishing up the album. There were 4 singles released from the album. The album was certified platinum. The most successful single, of course, was Girl Talk, which everybody loves. Of course, you play that song, you know, there's no dancing. You can't just sit and you can't just like not listen to it and jam and dance. Sold 143,000 its first week. Got positive reviews. Sold almost 2 million in the U.S. alone. And of course, this album came after a rough period with TLC. You know, with the whole challenge going on. Left Eye challenging each member of TLC to record their own solo album, but of course the challenge was never taken up because the other group members declined. And then of course they eventually settled their feud. Left Eye made a solo album. T-Boz got sick. They had to take some time out for that. But as soon as she got better, started getting better, and things started cooling down, Left Eye went to do missionary work in Honduras, where she ultimately passed. But she did record some material for 3D before she passed, contrary to popular belief. She did record material before she passed. They decided to use a few of the raps on a few of the songs, like Girl Talk, Quickie, and Who's It Gonna Be, which were all pretty good songs. Unreleased vocals from her second solo album were featured on the track Quickie, Over Me, and Give It To Me While It's Hot. The album is actually like approximately the standard edition, 13 tracks. Thank you so much. Minus the intro of 12. Japanese version, 14 tracks. The European version, 14 tracks as well. Now, the album reached number 6 on the Billboard 200, which was really good, being that the album was released like, I believe 6 months after she passed away or something like that. So it did pretty well. Of course, my favorite track on the whole album has to be... I know you probably think I'm going to say Girl Talk. It ain't Girl Talk. My favorite track has to be... Oh, this is the hard one here. This is the hard one. I just threw myself for a loop. It's got to be a tie between So So Dumb, Turntable, and Damaged. Okay, them are my 3. Like those 3 are like up there, next to Girl Talk, of course. Probably because of the message and the meaning, of course. Love the lyrics and I love the meanings. This album here, I mean, honestly, being that I was young when it came out, I listened to a lot of music. I did. And I remember this song coming out. But I didn't have access at the time to the 3D album, but I did get access to it like at least 2 or 3 years after it came out. And I fell in love with it. Ever since then, that was all she wrote. Okay. This was the last TLC album that did use her vocals, as on the self-titled final debut album, of course, final solo studio album. They were not allowed to use her vocals. The family didn't allow it. All kind of stuff was going on. That was what it was. But hey, I mean, there's so much I can say. The videos were awesome. Girl Talk, I felt, was a nice send off for Left Eye because it was like, even though she was no longer there, they put in like an animated Left Eye in the video, and they also wore like a lot of Left Eye gear, and they were just getting down. You know, it was funny also, you know, how they kind of had like different types of girls talking around the world. You know, you had the girls in the tribe, you had the girls down south, you had the girls in Japan. You know, so it was really funny. You know, Hands Up was another funny video. You know, hilarious. Um, you know, set in a futuristic club, of course, you know, adult club. Um, and it was just really, it was typical TLC style, of course. Um, it did okay on the charts. It did okay. Um, Damage was another good one. Damage reminded me of like Unpretty a little bit. I really did. Um, and it just, I mean, the song was self-explanatory. Like I said, my heart's at a low. You know, da 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 da. I think you should know that I've been damaged. You know, it was just like it was deep. Um, and I just love. I just I don't know. It just makes me cry every time I watch it and I see the song. I'm just like, oh my goodness, it's so nice. Also, there was a video released for Turntables. It was like a compilation of a bunch of footage. Um, which I mean, when I watch that video too, I get a little teary eyed. You know, seeing Left Eye and seeing them be funny and crazy. You know, and knowing that they can't ever get that back. You know, it was really good. It was really good. And of course, as you see over my video, the overlay is of course the album cover. And in my corner, of course, I'm on Tidal, as I always am, listening to the album on random. And as you see, it's a beautiful cover. I love it. I mean, I loved it. 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 It was just, it continued off. The album to me, it felt like, it was like Fan Mail 2.0, you know? And that's kind of also what their last album, their final album sounded like as well, too. It was like a Fan Mail 3.0. So you got to get, you know, it wasn't just like they released this Fan Mail album and then that was it. They did something different. No, they continue the sound. You know, their first 2.5 albums, because half of Fan Mail was R&B. You had the hip hop, the R&B, and all that good stuff. And then with the next 2.5 albums, half of Fan Mail and of course 3D and the self-titled TLC album, you had like the more pop and the rock and alternative, all that good stuff, you know. So I mean, it did him justice, you know. 3D was a nice send off. But if you haven't listened to the CD, you haven't had a chance, or you haven't heard in a while, you know, go back through the collection if you got it, because I know you probably got the CD laying around somewhere. Go into your music collection, or, you know, hop on Spotify or Tidal or something, and go ahead and give it a listen, because it's worth it, you know. And also, if you notice, Left Eye's vocals were significantly darker. They were like, it wasn't like in a bad way. It was just like darker, like more grown, sexier, kind of aggressive. And, you know, if you listen to it, that's what I say, you have to listen to it, you'd be like, wow. You know, it just like, wow. Wow. That's all I can say. But yeah. There was definitely some growth on that album. Yep. And it was truly what they consider black pop. It was really good. Now, the album altogether is only 49 minutes, 32 seconds. So it won't take too much time out today to listen to. They work with a lot of producers. Babyface, of course, L.A. Reid, Dallas Austin, you know, Dark Child, Raphael Sadiq, Timbaland. You know, I had a lot of good people working on it. So go ahead and give it a listen. Go ahead and check the visuals of the videos out on YouTube. And y'all let me know how y'all like it. And also, if there's anything else that y'all need, y'all want me to review or request to hear, let me know. And I will be sure to get on here and upload a review or a flashback, kind of a retrospective on it. And that's about it. That's all I got for this one here right now. I'll be back soon, of course, as I always say. In the meantime, you guys hold it down. Peace. I'll be back. Make sure you like, subscribe, comment, and all that good stuff, alright? Go ahead and hit that like button. Go ahead and hit that share button. Y'all know the drill. Peace.